In the 1950s and 60s, a top-secret government project named Blue Book investigates 12,000 UFO cases. Of those, one file stands apart as the most credible of all. This one.
On one spring afternoon, Sergeant Lonnie Zamora is in the middle of a high-speed pursuit. Suddenly, a massive boom echoes across the desert, and Zamora sees a column of flames and smoke rising up from a distant ravine. His first instinct is that a dynamite shack out there has exploded. Zamora abandons the chase and tears off-road to go help.
Zamora drives his cruiser closer, but struggles to make out what he sees.
Initially, he thinks it's actually an overturned car, but it doesn't have any windows, it doesn't appear to have any doors.
He sees a gleaming white, oval-shaped metallic object. It just looks like a big egg.
According to Zamora, standing beside the craft are two figures dressed in white overalls. Too small to be adults, yet too large to be children.
He calls it in to the sheriff's dispatcher and says he's going to check out what looks like it might be some kind of wreck. And when he looks back up, suddenly the two figures are gone.
Zamora's heart rate goes up a notch. He drives 50 yards closer and cautiously gets out to approach on foot.
As he gets nearer, he notices what looks like landing gear. The craft has two metal legs that are angled outward. On the side, there's a red insignia. It's an arrow design that he's never seen before.
Suddenly, the silence shatters.
A deafening roar erupts, the ground shakes, and a blue-orange flame spews from beneath the craft.
Zamora panics. He thinks the thing's about to detonate. He turns and sprints away, dives behind the hill and covers his head.
But no explosion comes.
The roar cuts out, and so Zamora peeks out, and he says that he sees the craft now slowly lifting up.
It pauses, hangs about 15 feet in the air, then picks up speed and blasts across the sky, vanishing beyond the distant peaks.
When Lonnie Zamora radios in to report what he's seen, an FBI agent is listening in on the frequency. For him, this sighting isn't just a mystery, it's a threat to a top-secret U.S. base.
Zamora's sighting takes place about 100 miles outside of White Sands Missile Range, very near Holloman Air Force Base, which is ground zero for classified military aerospace programs. Anything strange that happens here could very easily be considered a threat, possibly even from the Soviets.
The FBI agent alerts the Army. Soon, military police arrive to secure the location.
The military finds Zamora shaken, but crystal clear about what he saw.
Lonnie Zamora is a very special kind of witness. He's a no-nonsense cop who carried out everything by the book.
They also find something else, physical proof of the craft's existence.
There are indentations in the ground that look like landing gear, as well as scorched brush in the area from flames.
To investigate, the military sent in the Air Force's top-secret UFO program, Project Blue Book.
Project Blue Book started back in the 1940s to track unidentified flying objects across the United States. Its job is to assess every unexplained sighting and determine if they pose a threat to national security.
Project Blue Book is led by Major Hector Quintanilla, a professional skeptic whose team has debunked thousands of sightings. While the press clamors for answers, he quietly launches a forensic investigation. After a thorough investigation, Quintanilla stamps the file unidentified. For years, the Zamora case sits in a Blue Book filing cabinet. Then in 1976, the project's findings on UFOs go public.
In part, to quell public speculation that the government is trying to cover up proof of alien existence, Project Blue Book is publicly declassified.
Of its 12,000 plus files, the government claims that all of them can be either explained or debunked. But a small number, around 700 or so, remain unsolved, including Zamora's.
It's not just unidentified, it's one of a kind. In private memoirs released after his death, Quintanilla, the skeptic who spent his life debunking UFOs, makes an astonishing admission. The Zamora sighting was the best documented case on record.
The Zamora incident was the one that bothered him the most because he could never figure out what happened. There's no proof that the Zamora incident involves any form of alien life, but there's also no definitive evidence of what it was.
Las Vegas is full of the bizarre. An indoor Eiffel Tower, a water slide through a shark tank. In 2017, one journalist gets a lead on something even stranger: a secret warehouse packed with UFO artifacts.
It's October 2017, and an investigative reporter named Leslie Kane gets a tip from a trusted source. A high-level intelligence officer wants to blow the whistle on a government program he claims is investigating UFOs.
This is the break that Leslie Kane has been waiting her entire career for. She's built her reputation on asking serious questions about UFOs. She's been fighting the government hard, often through the courts, for transparency on the subject.
This could be big. If Kane can prove that the U.S. government is secretly researching UFOs, it would expose the first official probe into the subject since the close of its Project Blue Book in 1970.
To bring the story to the widest audience possible, Kane teams up with Ralph Blumenthal, a veteran reporter who spent 45 years at the New York Times. Together, they set up a meeting with the whistleblower in a hotel room in Philadelphia.
In an intense, hours-long session, the 37-year-old intelligence officer from Texas lays out his story. His name is Luis Elizondo.
Luis Elizondo claims he has just resigned from the Pentagon in protest at the cover-ups of a top-secret UFO research program.
He says he was the director of a covert program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP.
It was set up quietly in 2007 with the mission to analyze tracking data, witness statements, and military encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, or UFOs.
At first, the facts about AATIP seem hard to believe.
He claims that it was funded with $22 million, largely from the Pentagon's black budget, which means that it doesn't show up on any public ledger.
This undercover operation assembled what could be the most advanced and extensive collection of UFO data in existence.
Over 200,000 reported incidents.
Elizondo's expose is potentially huge, but for Kane, the word of one whistleblower isn't enough.
The journalist can't run a story this incredible without bulletproof evidence.
Kane has spent her career trying to get people to take UFOs seriously. So if this story flops, everything's just going to get pushed back into the fringes. They need this to land.
To corroborate Elizondo's UFO claims, the journalists go after two of the key players he's named. First up, a former senator named Harry Reid, who Elizondo says greenlit the hidden funds.
Kane and Blumenthal track down Harry Reid and ask him point blank, did you authorize a secret Pentagon UFO program?
You'd expect a politician to distance himself from little green men, but incredibly, Reid doubles down. He tells them on the record that this program was vital to national security. He even says, "I'm not embarrassed or sorry that I got this thing going."
Next, Kane chases down the strangest player connected to the program, a billionaire real estate magnate and UFO truth seeker named Robert Bigelow.
Robert Bigelow says he had a paranormal encounter when he was a child, which made him a true believer. And so in his adulthood, he's poured money into the study of space and UFOs.
He runs a company called Bigelow Aerospace, which ostensibly builds modules for space stations. But the journalists uncover that Bigelow Aerospace has a secret side contract with AATIP that nobody knows about.
Bigelow tells the journalists that his aerospace company is paid by the program to manage a specialized storage facility in Las Vegas.
According to Bigelow, it houses files, but also physical materials, pieces from downed UFOs, mysterious fragments recovered from crash sites.
Essentially, says Bigelow, the U.S. government has an entire warehouse of alien technology.
As the journalists prepare to take this incredible revelation to the public, they're missing just one thing: a comment from the Pentagon.
The team reaches out for an official response, and on December 16th, just hours from going to press, it arrives.
The Pentagon knows the story is about to break. There's no stopping it. So instead of denying it, the Pentagon acknowledges that AATIP existed.
It's a watershed moment. Almost overnight, U.S. authorities removed the stigma on UFOs.